at Indianapolis Raceway Park in the 28th Annual U.S. Nationals. I'm Dave McClelland along with Steve Evans, and we're getting set for round number 2 in Funny Car Eliminator. But one man has got a lot of work ahead of him. That is the race car of Tom McEwen that is scattered all over his pit area. Tom, in his first round race, exploded an engine, and that has created the stripping of this car down to the bare chassis, as a lot of his friends have gathered around to help Tom get ready for his race against Don the Snake Prudhomme. In the first round, as we look at it again, it is McEwen against Frank Hawley. Hawley is here in the near lane, McEwen in the far lane. Up in smoke goes Hawley, the advantage to McEwen. The car travels down the racetrack and then explodes in a ball of fire at the finish line. Steve has had a chance to talk to Tom and ask him how is he getting ready for this race with Don Prudhomme.
It'll be good. We race every weekend, and he's a tough man to beat. So we've got a lot of help, and Lombardo loaned us a supercharger, and Roland's crew is over here helping us, and we're putting another motor in the car and fixing the windshield and everything. So we're trying to get back so we can go up and do battle with the snake. So we'll see.
Okay, good luck.
Tom McEwen, lots of work ahead of him before he races Don Prudhomme. Billy Meyer, one of the 2 Texans involved in this race. He is going against Kenny Bernstein. Meyer, hailing from Waco, Texas, started his driving career at the tender age of 16 in a funny car. He's the number 3 qualifier here at the U.S. Nationals. For Kenny Bernstein, now of Dallas, Texas, qualified in the number 7 spot at a 5.90.
All right, how does Kenny Bernstein approach racing the fastest funny car in the world, Billy Meyer?
Fearful, very much so. Well, obviously, he'll run good. He ran 88, 588 in the first round, and we're at 93. He's got a lane choice. Fastest car in the world. He's tough.
We'll find out how tough Billy Meyer is against Kenny Bernstein. 2 very evenly matched cars. Not a whole lot separating them on the basis of their performance thus far. And they're a great race off the starting line. It looks like Bernstein has a bit of a lead. And then that top-end horsepower from Billy Meyer. 5.84 seconds elapsed time. His speed, 251 miles an hour. And when we call it close, Kenny Bernstein just a heartbeat behind at a 5.95 seconds. The next car is a team car of Kenny Bernstein, this time driven by Tom Anderson. He is racing a former champion here, Gary Burgin, the Orange Baron out of Stanton, California. Steve is with Billy.
Well, Billy Meyer, you said you were striving for consistency. You've got it. Another climb in the 580s and a big speed over 250, which will back up a new record.
That's good. I don't know if I was a little bit late or not. Do you know?
Just a fraction.
I saw him very much. I remember we shifted. We moved back and forth in about 600 feet with our top-end charge. It helped quite a bit. So.
Billy Meyer reflecting the pressure that builds here at the U.S. Nationals. Here is the team car of Kenny Bernstein, this one driven by Tom Anderson. Anderson qualified number 2, a sterling 5.79 seconds, one of the all-time quickest times ever for a funny car. For Gary Burgin, he qualified number 6 at a 5.88 seconds. This is round number 2 of racing. The winner of this pair will advance into the semifinals, and they're both up in smoke off the starting line. Tommy Anderson looks to be out of control, and Gary Burgin recovers to win the race. 6.56 seconds at 239 miles an hour. But this is one of those cases where who cares how quick you go or how fast, all you're interested in is getting to the finish line first. You can see Anderson in the Kenny Bernstein team car going out of control. Gary Burgin keeps his car pointed in a straight line, and he heads right down to the end of the quarter mile and takes the win.
Well, we talk about drivers' races. You just saw one. The driver that recovered first as they both smoked the tires was victorious, and that's Gary Burgin. Good driving, Gary.
Thank you, Steve.
He smoked the tires just about the same time you did.
I saw that, and then I stepped back on the throttle and got around him, and he just got to the finish line first.
Well, both of you did everything possible to win that one.
Yeah, we sure did. This is a big race to win.
Oh, yeah. Gary Burgin won it once a long time ago.
Steve, it was way back in 1976 that Gary Burgin was the funny car champ at the U.S. Nationals, but all eyes are on the starting line as the sleek fiberglass body is lowered down over Ken Veney's car, the man they call the Innovator.
You've built so much of your own stuff. What on this car have you manufactured?
Well, I make the heads and rocker arm assemblies and valve covers, manifolds.
Oh, let's see. I didn't build a blower on this one, but
But you could.
I'd have.
Your motto is, if you can't afford it, build it, huh?
That's what I've had to do so far. I think you try a little harder when you don't have very much money. Maybe that's what it's all about.
If Ken Veney tries much harder, he may leave all of his competition clear back on the eastern seaboard, as he has blistered this asphalt here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. His mid-season switch to nitro has left them all shaking their heads. Here in round number 2, Ken Veney is going against this man, the number 8 qualifier, Al Sigrini, who came into the program with a 5.91 second elapsed time. The burnouts are completed for both cars. Concentration now on the electronic starting device, the Christmas tree. Al Sigrini and Ken Veney. Sigrini falling behind at the start, and look at Ken Veney across the finish line. The quickest time, he ties the national record of Don Prudhomme at 5.73 seconds and sets a new national speed record at over 254 miles an hour. Tom McEwen has got his car back together. He is matched up against Don Prudhomme here in the second round of racing. Right now, let's go to Steve.
There's a good possibility that you, Ken Veney, in this fairy tale effort today, have just set both ends of the national funny car record. They're looking at the backup, doing the math right now. Fantastic.
Fantastic. I don't know what to say.
573. 254.
And no nitrous oxide. That's all
You don't need the Red Rocket, doesn't need it.
I don't know what to say. I can't say anything. I'm just dumbfounded.
Well, you're now the man to beat. You've got lane choice. Everybody's talking Ken Veney all the way.
Hey, thank you. I can't say anything.
Tom McEwen, after replacing all the parts in his car, is back running. Don Prudhomme, the quickest man ever in a funny car, has also known the parts breakage problems this weekend. Steve asked him about it.
So the engine in the car is the last bullet you have.
Yeah, we have enough parts, I think, to keep going. But, you know, the competition out here is really tough, too. You know, we set some new records, but it was costly.
But you go from 580s to 560s. You just find the next weak link?
That's exactly right. You know, you pick up an extra tenth of a second and a few miles an hour, and all of a sudden the wrist pins on the engine isn't strong enough, and you destroyed $10,000 worth of parts. But we proved that these funny cars can run darn near with the top fuel dragsters. You know, a 563. It's incredible.
It's hard to even say, isn't it?
It is.
The evolution of drag racing, a costly one for Don Prudhomme, but he has got the record at a 573. He has run as quick as a 563. This a rematch of the finals of the U.S. Nationals 1978. Then it was Tom McEwen winning. This time it is Don Prudhomme. And look at the times, 5.77 seconds, only 218 miles an hour as Don Prudhomme moves into the semifinals to race Billy Meyer. Ken Veney against Gary Burgin, as we'll return in just a moment to the U.S. Nationals.